Welcome, everyone. Today we are talking about the blog post, Beyond Direct Cremation, the Power of a Planned Memorial Service.
Yeah, and choosing direct cremation, it's become a really common choice for families these days.
It has. It's often simpler, maybe more affordable too, and it gives you a lot of flexibility with timing.
Totally. And honestly, if that's the path you've chosen or you're thinking about, it makes complete sense for, well, a lot of practical reasons.
Absolutely. And this blog post we're looking at today doesn't argue with that at all.
No, it starts right off acknowledging that direct cremation handles the practical side of things, the disposition, you could call it.
Which basically just handling the physical process,
Yeah.
right? Laying someone to rest.
Exactly. But then it pivots pretty quickly to this really crucial point. Handling the physical stuff isn't the whole story.
Right. There's still this fundamental human need that remains.
Yeah, the emotional need, the community need, to honor a life and find some kind of closure.
So the core idea here is that while direct cremation definitely serves a purpose, a practical one,
There's this huge second act that's just as vital, maybe even more so for the people left behind.
and this post makes a really strong case that even if you've picked cremation, planning a memorial service afterwards, well, it isn't just an extra.
No, it suggests it's profoundly important for everyone involved.
So today we're going to unpack the insights from this post about why that memorial service is so significant even when the cremation itself is done.
And importantly, the blog really gets into how partnering with someone experienced, like say a funeral director, can make a huge difference
Yeah, how it can transform that experience from something that feels maybe overwhelming.
into what the post calls a beautifully managed tribute. It's about understanding the kind of support that can guide you through that second act.
Okay, so let's jump into how the blog frames this. It uses a pretty helpful analogy, actually.
It does. It says, think of direct cremation as the first act that takes care of the physical reality.
Okay.
And the memorial service then is presented as the essential second act.
The second act. I like that.
Yeah. It's the part of the story where the life that was lived is genuinely celebrated, where people can actually gather.
And where that journey of grief can begin in a way that feels supported, shared.
Supported and shared, exactly.
And the post also talks quite a bit about closure, doesn't it? It sort of pushes back against the idea that closure is just this one single event.
It really does. It frames closure much more realistically, I think, as a process.
A process, yeah.
It involves acknowledging the loss, obviously, but also giving people space, really allowing that space to express their grief.
And then finding ways, over time to integrate that absence while keeping the memories alive.
So cremation handles the physical step.
And the memorial service, according to this post anyway, is what addresses the needs of the heart and soul.
It's the designated time and place for people to come together, share stories, cry, maybe laugh too.
And collectively say goodbye. The blog calls it the crucial bridge.
Yes. Between the physical absence and keeping that loving memory going. That phrase, crucial bridge, it really stuck with me too.
That really captures it. But, thinking about building that bridge when you're right in the middle of grief, that sounds incredibly hard.
Oh, absolutely. Like, who has the energy for that? Or the headspace, really?
Exactly. And this is where the post gets into something really valuable, I think.
Wow.
It details the specific benefits of getting help with planning that memorial.
Right. Specifically, help from a funeral director, even after the direct cremation part is taken care of.
Yeah, this part felt really insightful, especially if you're thinking, okay, cremation's done, we'll just figure out a gathering ourselves later.
Because the post spells out how that professional support can make a real, tangible difference. How it can help make that memorial happen meaningfully without adding more stress when you're already vulnerable.
Okay, so what's one of the first benefits the post highlights?
Expert guidance and support. That's a big one.
Right, the professionals. They've navigated loss and memorialization countless times.
Exactly. The blog points out they offer compassionate guidance, sure, but also they handle the complex logistics. All those little details, they manage them with care and respect.
And the key thing highlighted there is that this frees you up.
Yes. So you can actually focus on grieving, on being present with your family, not coordinating vendors.
And that flows right into the next point the post makes, the huge reduction in stress and burden.
Because planning any event takes work.
Right.
But trying to plan something this significant, a memorial, while you're actively mourning,
Yeah.
it's incredibly challenging.
Understatement of the year.
Right. So the post details how a funeral director really takes on the bulk of that organizational weight.
Like what kind of things?
Finding a venue, coordinating with vendors, florists, caterers, musicians, whatever you need, managing timelines, even dealing with fiddly paperwork sometimes.
It's just about taking that load off.
Significantly reducing your stress when you're already carrying so much emotional weight. That's the core of it.
I can actually relate to that pretty personally. After my dad chose direct cremation, my family started thinking about how we wanted to honor him.
Yeah.
We knew we wanted a service, it's a celebration of his life, but just the thought of figuring out where to hold it, who to call for chairs or music, trying to line up everyone's schedules.
It sounds exhausting just thinking about it.
It felt overwhelming, honestly, on top of everything else. And bringing in a funeral director, someone who just knew how to handle all those logistics, it lifted this incredible weight off our shoulders.
So they took care of the moving parts.
Completely. Which let my family and me just focus on remembering Dad, sharing stories, being there for each other. It really was a game changer in reducing that burden the Post talks about.
That's such a powerful example. It really highlights what the Post is emphasizing, taking those practical worries right off your plate. So what else does the blog mention as a key benefit?
Personalization expertise is next.
Yes. This is where the blog suggests they really shine, helping families create tributes that genuinely reflect the unique person you're remembering.
So not just a standard service.
Not at all. They have experience, and they can offer creative ideas for weaving in really meaningful elements.
Like what?
Maybe incorporating their favorite music in a special way, or showcasing photos and videos, displaying personal belongings perhaps, or even suggesting unique rituals that were important to them or their legacy.
Making it feel truly theirs.
Exactly. And they often have access to suitable venues and resources, which the Post also mentions.
That's right. Funeral homes themselves often have chapels or reception spaces that are designed for these gatherings, so they offer a comforting environment.
But the Post notes they can also help you find and book other places too.
Like a community hall or a park.
A club, maybe even someone's home if that feels right. Plus, they usually have established relationships with trusted providers, florists, musicians, caterers.
Which saves you the legwork of finding and vetting them yourself.
Big time saver. Facilitating meaningful rituals is also listed as a key benefit.
Rituals are so important, aren't they? For processing big life events.
Absolutely foundational. And the Post emphasizes that funeral directors understand this deeply. They can help you think about and incorporate specific ceremonies or acts of remembrance.
Things that provide comfort, aid healing.
Precisely. Whether it's a simple candle lighting, a moment of shared silence, telling specific kinds of stories, or maybe something totally unique to your family or culture.
The Post also points out they provide a welcoming and supportive environment generally.
Yes, the physical space of a funeral home is often designed to be comforting, but it also highlights the role of the staff.
How they create that atmosphere.
Right. They're trained to provide a supportive atmosphere where it feels okay, feels safe for people to express emotions freely, and where connections between everyone, their family, friends, the wider community, are really fostered.
They can even help with logistics for out-of-town guests. That sounds really practical.
It really is. Because one of the plus sides of direct cremation is that flexibility in scheduling the memorial. You're not locked into an immediate burial timeline.
So people might have more time to travel.
Exactly. And the Post notes that funeral directors can often assist with those logistics, helping make sure guests traveling from far away can actually attend and feel accommodated.
And the final point listed, ensuring a seamless experience.
Yeah, this kind of ties it all together, doesn't it?
Seems like it.
The Post's point here is that by handling all these different elements, the guidance, reducing the stress, the personalization, finding the venue, incorporating rituals, creating the right environment, helping with guests.
They make sure everything just flows smoothly according to what you wanted.
So you and your family aren't running around behind the scenes, stressed out. You can actually be present.
Focusing on remembering your loved one and supporting each other, which is the whole point, really. So, if you're listening and thinking about planning a memorial yourself after direct cremation, why does this detailed list from the blog post about working with a professional? Why does it matter so much?
Well, I think it really underscores these specific, concrete ways that professional support can make things easier.
Support from someone who does this work with compassion and expertise every single day.
Right. It's about taking that heavy lifting off your shoulders, certainly. But also, and this is crucial, it's about enhancing the experience for everyone involved.
Making that memorial service truly what it's meant to be.
A beautiful, meaningful tribute. Yes.
So wrapping up the blog post's main message, Choosing cremation is a perfectly valid path for the disposition, the physical part of saying goodbye.
But choosing to follow that cremation with a planned memorial service,
Yeah.
especially one guided by someone experienced,
Provides that absolutely essential human connection, that communal support.
and that deeply meaningful tribute that's
Yeah.
really needed for, well, for emotional completion, like that critical second act we talked about.
The act that helps truly complete the farewell process in a way that honors the life lived and supports the people who are grieving.
And the post frames it nicely, not just as an expense, but as an investment.
An investment in healthy grieving.
An investment in community, and just a powerful way to create a lasting positive memory of the person you're celebrating.
So, given these insights from the blog post we've talked through today, how might partnering with someone experienced in memorial planning change your perspective on creating a truly impactful and supportive tribute to your loved one?
It's definitely something worth thinking about, isn't it? As you consider the best way forward to honor a life. We'll be back next time with another thought-provoking exploration of a topic that matters.